Welcome to Courageous Conviction. Remember that Jeff and I record each Saturday 5 episodes. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you catch all 5 episodes. We usually start out with one theme or topic. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes to really understand it. Some things are more sensitive than others right now, what's going on in the world. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this video. Hey, welcome to Courageous Conviction. Today we have a special guest, Bonnie, who's going to be with us today and tell us a little bit of story about her coming back to the church after many, many years being away from the church. Some reasons why they're falling away, but mostly to focus on the reason of why she's came back and some of her recent activities and things she's experienced in her life after she's made these changes and came back. So, Bonnie, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am 79 years old. I'm a widow. I had 3 children. I lost my daughter and her children about 18 years ago. I remarried a wonderful man after my original divorce. And I've been very active here in Lodi with my granddaughter and my grandchildren and my family. I visit with them weekly. I'm very happy to have moved from Connecticut to California. I love living back out here in California again. I moved to the East Coast about 35 years ago. And met a wonderful man, got married, and we were married up until 2021 October, and he passed away. And then I moved out here to California.
Okay, great. You are a convert to the church, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You were once you were converted when you were already an adult, already married, adult,
married,
children.
3 children. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you came into the church, it was a process, right? You joined the church, so your kids joined the church, and your husband joined later.
My husband, a couple of years. It took 2 years, and he joined.
Yeah. Okay. And then there were things, understanding things that were kind of rough in the relationship too. But there were things that were taking place too that we talked about prior to airing that in the church. What do you think were some of the reasons why you stopped going to church?
Oh, just the conflicts with the people. I put aside the fact that the church is perfect, but the people are not, and I allowed some of the people to get under my skin in the church, which I should never have done. I stayed very close to our bishop and to a lot of my church friends, but the people that were, causing some of the conflict with my children and my ex-husband, I avoided. I eventually, with leaving the church, how I left was I went on a trip. My husband and I were getting a divorce. Things weren't good in the relationship, and he had left the church a couple of years. He'd been away, and I stayed active because of my children, but my children were also kind of blocking the church with seminary in the morning and with just a lot of the things that were happening with summer camp and the conflict with some of the kids because of the parents and the things that were being said. But then my son stayed in the church, very active. He went on a mission for 2 years. He went to Sao Paulo, Brazil. He came home from a mission when his dad and I had decided to get a divorce finally. And then I went on a trip with my girlfriend to Hawaii. And while we were there, she was wearing these really cute outfits. And I decided I'm going to take my garments off and buy one of those cute outfits and wear one of those cute outfits. And it just seemed like everything went downhill when I took my garments off.
How funny that is, in recent general conference too, the last couple of general conferences has really been encouraging us to wear our garments.
So important.
And sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I feel like I wish that bathe with better quality because I get rashes.
Oh,
Yeah, and especially 'cause I sweat a lot. So it's really hard for me in the heat a lot
yes.
of times to sometimes certain work and stuff like that. And so I have to make a very conscious effort to try to be honest with myself in the garments and the importance of that. And so it is important to us because it seems like when we take that garment off, we take off our shield of our testimony almost. I think it's more of a psychological thing.
You take, well, it it puts you back into the worldly world. You're not, even though you're still spiritual in your mind, you allow yourself to become part of this world, part of that society that are doing things that are morally not really the right things, not the things that Christ would really want you to be doing. Uh, then I would have cocktails with my, I didn't in the beginning, but then later I would have cocktails with my girlfriends. Uh, and then I started dating, and I lost the moral.
Would you say it was a
So
slow decline?
it was slow. It was slow.
Something you consciously just said, I'm done, I'm leaving.
No,
It was just a slow kind of, edging back.
I allowed bad influences into my life, which I should never have done. But I experienced a lot. I was the most grateful thing that I have felt in the last. First of all, meeting my husband was an absolute blessing, even though he was Catholic, a devout Catholic. It was beautiful because I had Christ in my life, and we went to church almost every single morning because he was going to be a priest, and he had left the priesthood because he knew that there was more to life. He wanted to be married and have children, and he had 2 children of his own, and they were in 18 and 19 when we married. Um,
So let me jump back a little bit.
Okay.
And you keep going jump back. While you were active in the church before you fell away, where you had certain what callings and leadership roles did you?
I was in the Relief Society presidency. I was started out in Relief Society as a teacher, and then I went on to become the first counselor, second counselor over homemaking. Then I had a stake calling in the Relief Society, which was beautiful. At the same time, I also had some primary calling, and I had a calling for I had 3 callings at one time, which during my husband and I weren't getting along, and it was very overwhelming. So finally I asked the bishop to release me from 2 of my callings, and I just kept one. And then they put me in a calling with which I could never figure out why they did it prior to my deciding I wanted a divorce, was a calling over this senior adults, unwed adults. I can't remember the
Yeah, you're unmarried adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your young adults, then you have your adults.
And then I'm going, why would you put me with all these unmarried people? What am I supposed to do? So I put on parties at my house for them, and we had a lot of get-togethers all through the stake, and in different areas of California. We had a lot of activities for the special interest group, and but then now looking back, the Lord knew that calling, I needed to be in that calling because he knew what my future was going
You'll be
to
one of them.
That I would be one of them. Never dreamed I would ever. 25 years of married to this man.
So
The first man.
so would you say so when you were not active, you were talking about you're with your second husband.
Yeah.
Were you were active, then you were going to the Catholic
I was
Church.
going to the Catholic Church.
So you were inactive for well over 35 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come full circle now. We've heard enough about, I think, why you laugh. And I think many of us leave the same way. It just maybe it's not intentional.
Yeah.
It's just a slow, gradual things. We get our feelings hurt or whatever.
Process
Satan.
Yeah. Satan stepped in.
He knows that he just puts little tiny things in there, brings people in your life to kind of help you pull you a little further away, a little further away. You don't quite realize it, do you?
No, you don't realize it. And at the time, you're young and you're not really thinking about
Consequences.
and what's really. Oh, I thought about the consequences.
Oh, you did?
I was very concerned about the consequences because I had a good religious depth of the church, and my feeling towards God and what was right and what was wrong. But I allowed myself to just become part of society and do what my friends were doing.
It's easier that way. The people around us. Yeah. I think it's more difficult to actually maintain that standard. I understand that. So then let's come full circle now. I thank you for being with us on Courageous Conviction. Remember, there's 5 episodes each week that we put out. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes, so stay with us. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and don't miss tomorrow's episode on Courageous Conviction.